You started out strong. You had the vision. You had the plan. You had the community. But now the plan is too painful, too long, too lonely. Every great journey has people who turn back. In the fictional story, the Magi, some of Allie's cohort, return home. The single greatest temptation in your spiritual journey isn't the challenge ahead. It's the comfort you left behind. Jesus warned that this act makes you unfit for God's kingdom. Let's talk about the true cost of endurance. Welcome back to Following the Star, Day 14. We face the reality of the hard steps. Today we face the internal threat, looking back. Some turn away. Our theme is commitment must endure hardship. When I was a kid, my mom always thought I was going to be a preacher. But my dad was sure that I was going to be an engineer, and I had the aptitude, and I loved the idea of a job that spent at least some of the time outdoors. So engineering it was. But it was in my third year, while working in an engineering co-op program with the State Highway Department, God's call to ministry became undeniable. I eventually finished my college degree and went to seminary, and the fact is, many of the smart, passionate guys that I went to school with did not last in the challenge of ministry. They turned away, frankly, more than once, especially when facing my own personal deserts. I felt that surely there must be an easier path for me as well. But God continued to make that path clear as time passed. The commitment of the Magi was tested in two ways: the external threat, like the bandits in the desert, and the internal temptation to retreat. When the journey proved too painful, too long, or too costly, it's easy to imagine that some of their party turned back. The hardship had simply exceeded their commitment. Have you known anybody like that? They chose comfort of what they knew over the fulfillment of an unknown promise. They exchanged the future reward for past security. That choice is incredibly relatable because we all face it, even today. The danger of looking back is that it tragically minimizes the value of the promise ahead. Jesus had one of his sharpest warnings for those facing this temptation. He warned that those who put their hand to the plow must not look back, because the act of doing so renders them unfit for the kingdom's work. To look back is to value the past security or comfort more than the future purpose God has called you to. It suggests that your commitment was conditional upon ease or conditional upon everything going according to your plan. This is just a subtle spiritual surrender. This Advent, consider what tempts you to look back. Is it the fear of failure, the pain of sacrifice, or the simple desire for an easier, less complicated life? Endurance is the proof that your faith is mature. If the journey to the Christ child becomes painful, and it will, do not let that pain lead you to abandon the mission. Keep your eyes on the furrow that you are plowing, and trust that the reward awaiting you at the end far surpasses the comfort you left behind. Your journey may not be a full-time ministry, but all of us as believers are on a path that requires the same commitment and faith in God's promise. And if you're wondering, my mom is no longer with us, but I think she would be thrilled to know that in retirement, after 40-plus years of full-time ministry, I get to preach pretty often. God is faithful to his path, even when we feel like turning back. Commitment must endure hardship. Keep your hand to the plow. In Luke 9, Jesus opens that chapter calling his disciples, commissioning his disciples. Halfway through the chapter, he calls them to take up their cross. And then by the time he gets to the end of the chapter, he shares these words. Jesus replied, "No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." Luke 9:62. What past comfort or security is tempting you to look back right now? Name it and commit to pushing forward in the comments below. Join us tomorrow for Day 15 of Following the Star for another 5 minutes. Don't forget to like and share with someone who needs to hear these words.